This video will look at answering a question on linking the determinants of health to the NHPAs, such as this one from a VCEH exam. Select one of these population groups that has a higher rate of illness and death from CVD than others. Identify two determinants of cardiovascular health and explain how each of these determinants could contribute to higher rates of cardiovascular disease for this population group. Let's start with a bit of background before I go into the three-step process to answering the question. As we know, determinants of health are factors that can positively and negatively impact one's health and health status. When we apply the determinants of health to the NHPAs, they can act as either risk or protective factors, that is, things that make the NHPA more likely or things that make the NHPA less likely. We can think about it kind of like a thermometer. Thermometers are usually influenced by various factors, such as the time of year, the weather, and so on. For our purposes, these factors are replaced by determinants of health. So instead of the time of year influencing how high the temperature rises, we have the determinants of health influencing how high the risk and severity of the NHPA is. Each NHPA has determinants of health that act as risk and protective factors, and your exam and SACs are likely to ask about these. For example, let's look at that question again. It asks how a determinant of health is acting as a risk factor for a particular group. Let's use Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples in our response. Now that we have chosen the population group, we need to choose a determinant. Any of the four will do. For now, let's go with the biological determinant. Now, here are the 3 steps that you could follow to produce a great response. Step 1. Begin with a general statement that includes both the relevant population groups and the link to the determinant at hand. For example, we could say, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples have, on average, a greater body mass. There is a higher rate of overweight and obesity compared to non-Indigenous Australians. Step 2. Explain why that concept acts as a risk factor. That is, why it may make the NHPA more likely or more severe. For example, high body weight puts more pressure on the heart and its systems, which makes cardiovascular disease, CVD, more likely. Step 3. Conclude, linking the determinant to the factor to the population group. So for us, thus the biological determinant, high body weight, acts as a risk factor for CVD for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. There are also variations on this type of question. Try completing some by yourself below. Bye for now and happy studying.